Something I've been wanting to talk about is manifesting the middle before the end. And if you know anything about law of assumption, you kind of know what I'm talking about. Like, the end is like your goal, your perfect world, your manifestation or whatever. And a lot of the times I think the discourse is around not paying attention to anything other than the end. However, I think there are some times where we do have to be real about our current circumstances. I'm going to use the example of manifesting money and having a job. Those two things are technically different, but we're gonna, to be practical, we're gonna kind of conflate those two. And because my end goal, my perfect manifestation is I'm getting paid to exist, which is still true. However, and this is not coming from a place of lack anymore, at least, where I manifested the perfect kind of job that I was looking for. Now, it doesn't pay much. It's not necessarily what people would consider a career. However, I was kind of in the mindset where if I'm going to get a job, if I'm going to go out into the world and actually work for somebody, it's got to have the vibes, okay? Like, I got to have good coworkers, just a chill vibe, and honestly nothing too stressful, because the last time I worked with people, or like the last job I was in, was very mentally and emotionally draining, to say the least. It was just, I took on a lot more than I should have, and I think working in an industry where it feels important it could just be like too much, if that makes sense. Anyway, so I was like, I kind of need a job. I just want enough, to pay my bills, to have a little extra spending money, like nothing crazy. However, like, it's like, while I'm manifesting this step, or like this middle part of the journey or whatever, that doesn't mean that the end or the bigger goal, the long-term goal, has disappeared, right? I don't even know how my current job that I just got will connect to me being paid to exist. I'm not even sure if they're meant to connect. The how is not up to me. Excuse me. The how is not up to me. The when is not really up to me. I'm just going to have full faith that I'm doing the right thing, and I'm showing the universe, I'm showing the unknown, I'm showing God, whatever you want to call it, I'm showing Source, that I'm willing to play by the rules of my current reality, but that I'm willing to meet what my current circumstances are calling me to do in order to get to that end, to that dream, to that goal. Even if it doesn't make sense. I'm following my joy, or I'm following a path that makes the most sense to my soul, and in a way that doesn't compromise my happiness. And not just like shallow happiness, like it's not compromising my ethics, my morals, and my standards for myself. The sun is shining through the clouds so beautifully right now. Hold on, I want to show you. I don't know if you'll get a good... I'm sorry, I'm going to cut that part of the video out because there's a license plate being seen. And I don't know who these people are, but I don't want them to be doxxed. Anyway. The truth is, I get paid to exist, and the universe provides in mysterious ways, and I'm kind of thinking about how, like, maybe how long it took to manifest. Not that time matters, but I want to say when I got serious about, because for a longer part of a year, I was kind of wavering if, like, I wanted a job or not. I kind of always felt like if I get a job, that means I'm going to quit. That's not the truth. But I was kind of, getting to that point where it's like, I need to have some kind of, like, stable income, even if it's just, like, pennies, whatever. Anyway, so I really got serious. I got really more focused on getting a job that, meets the vibe. And I want to say within, like, a month, the job appeared to me. I didn't have to apply to 400 different places, which is a common thing nowadays, especially where I'm living in Southern California. Like, people make jobs of people make jobs of, like, applying to jobs, essentially. And that is not something I want to do. That is not something I wanted to do, and I didn't have to do it to find this job. How many times have I said job in this video so far? Anyway. So yeah, it did not take that long. I'm really excited about it. I think my future coworkers are very excited about it. And yeah, just because I'm experiencing life to the fullest I possibly can, it doesn't mean that, like, my dreams are being given up on. In fact, lately, when I've been thinking about my life, my present reality, my present moment, I've been kind of looking at it through the lens of, me. Okay, maybe this is a little bit morbid, or maybe it's pretty deep, but, like, I look at it through the lens of, like, me on my deathbed and just being very happy with my life that is completely fulfilled. I lived my life the exact way it was meant to, the exact way I wanted it to. Am I getting emotional? No. I'm keeping it together. I'm keeping it together. But no, like, I look at it through the lens of that, because it's like, these are memories that are being made, even if it's, like, super mundane, even if it's, like, not exciting. I will always be here and now. Like, this isn't to take away from, like, me being present. I feel like looking at my present moment through that lens of, like, kind of being on my deathbed, it's been making me feel more gracious. Oh, hello. Sorry. It's been making me more gracious and grateful of the present moment. When I get to remember how everything unfolded, how I got to that point of being paid to exist. Yeah, I remember that time I worked at this little job, happy as hell, not knowing what's going to come next, but knowing that I'm going to get paid to exist. And thus, I got paid to exist. And now, my life is fulfilled. Okay, I don't know. But yeah, all that to say is that, like, my life is already fulfilled. I've already lived a fulfilled life. And I think the point I'm trying to make is that time doesn't exist. From the moment you were born to the moment you're dead, it's already happened. This present moment has already happened. So what's left is, it's just your awareness. It's your awareness of all these moments, of memories, of imaginations. It's all coexisting in the present moment. It can't be anywhere else. Anyway, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Time isn't real. Find fulfillment now, in the present moment, because that's all there is. Okay. All right. Bye!